what's fascinating about this series, it seems to me, is that both teams are peaking at precisely the right time. Dodgers win 7 of their last 8 and outscored the opposition, I don't know, 47-15, whatever the number was. Then you got Milwaukee. They won 11 straight, and they just beat up on Colorado. And the Rockies, to some degree, were victimized by the wild card game. That always unsettles a rotation. So you got 2 great teams peaking at the right time. This is going to be a wonderful series.
Charley Steiner here on the Rich Eisen Show. Prior to getting on a flight for Milwaukee, Game 1 is going to be on Fox coming up on Friday night, and then Saturday afternoon in Milwaukee for Game 2. So what do you think is the biggest issue going through Dave Roberts' mind, knowing how hot Milwaukee is and their pitching staff? What do you think is the biggest problem that's presented to the Dodgers?
I don't know that there's really a problem. You know, you go back to Herman Edwards. You play to win the game. What I think, watching these 2 teams, it will be more imperative than usual to score early, especially because of Milwaukee's bullpen.
It's incredible.
Which may be the best.
That kid Hader is unbelievable.
Oh, and Jeffers is great. You know, so I think the Dodgers want length out of their rotation. And if they can do that, then ideally or theoretically, they will have a lead. And I think that it'll be the Dodgers starters, their effectiveness, I think, against the effectiveness of the Brewer bullpen. And if the Dodgers don't allow the Brewer bullpen to get quality time, then they're in pretty good shape, scoring early.
Charley Steiner here on the Rich Eisen Show. How is Kenley Jansen? It does appear over his last couple of outings that the Jansen from last year is returned. Would you agree with that?
We'll all find out together. You know, it's been a rugged year for Kenley, but securing the final out in Atlanta the other night was a big deal. And again, the nice thing now is disregard the previous 160-something games. They don't count anymore. Now it's a 7-game series, and Don Zimmer legendarily would tell Joe Torre, once you get to this point in the season, you win 1 inning at a time. Then you go to the next inning, and then by the end of the night, you've got a 9-inning tapestry. And I think, so if the Dodgers are able to get to him, why not?
It seems it's amazing you brought that up with Zimmer and what he said, just 2 old guys, old school guys saying something. It seems now, though, with the analytics world, that going from inning to inning means starting your bullpen and or making sure your starter doesn't see the lineup for a 3rd straight time, regardless of score and regardless of pitch count. It seems that it's just gotten a little bit over the top. Yeah, skewed. What is your perspective on that?
I think a lot of it depends on how the team is constructed. And again, I think the Dodgers have a better rotation than Milwaukee has. I think their strength is the back end of their bullpen. And how you get to the 9th inning is dependent upon how you have pieced your team together. Look, if one of the reasons why the Dodgers beat Atlanta was that Kershaw went 7 or 8 innings. And so did Ryu. And so if you're effective that way, then fine. I don't know that Craig Counsell is as confident in his rotation as Dave is in his. But he has every reason to be confident with his bullpen. At the end of the day, you just look at the numbers. How do you get there? You know, the object of the game is really simple. Beat the other guy by at least a run. And how you do it.
And then you win.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.